President Trump is refusing to send FEMA aid to Arkansas. Now, Arkansas is recovering from a deadly string of tornadoes that also hit Mississippi and Missouri. It left 40 Americans dead. But the Trump administration is trying to end federal assistance for disasters altogether, telling states to handle their own problems. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she used to be Trump's spokesperson, is writing letters to Trump begging him to reconsider. Now, the hypocrisy here is astounding. Sanders campaigned against the big hand of federal government meddling in states' affairs. She complained about the tyranny of socialism. But the last time Arkansas had an emergency, in 2023, President Biden sent assistance immediately. So, socialism, it's only bad when you don't need help. Now, as much as I would love to see her squirm, no American deserves to suffer. We have the money available. President Trump, please send it to Arkansas. Their governor is a slug, but their people...
Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl on this channel. So, guys, all credits to the creators in those videos. And in today's video, today we are digging into a story that is pretty heartbreaking. Okay, Trump is denying FEMA relief to disaster victims. Okay, just imagine losing everything in a disaster, losing your home, your belongings, even a loved one, and being told that you are on your own. Okay, so this is exactly what happens to a lot of people in Arkansas, right? So basically, during major disasters like wildfires in California, hurricanes, and all of that, Trump's FEMA, right? Or let me say, FEMA is supposed to, it's a federal aid that is supposed to, care for all those, especially those lesser communities that cannot cater for these emergencies themselves, right? So in this case, Trump denied their request for federal aid. Okay, and in some cases, the whole community was denied disaster declarations, meaning no help, no money, nothing. Guys, remember who the states voted for. Let's watch these videos.
And MAGA administration have denied FEMA relief for sufferers of the Arkansas tornado outbreak, as well as the historical flooding in North Carolina, leaving hundreds of thousands of families without homes or safety or any type of recovery options. So, unfortunately, this has been also one of his Project 2025 agendas, which was to push relief efforts back to the states in order for them to, quote unquote, take care of their own. It's unbelievable. It's inhumane. It's cruel. These funds were set aside by Congress in order to provide relief for people who've suffered natural disasters. I promise you, if Florida was hit by a historic hurricane and Mar-a-Lago was wiped off the face of the United States, Trump would be there to collect his FEMA check to rebuild. However, he won't extend that same gratuity to his very own voters. And both Arkansas and North Carolina voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump and the MAGA regime. Best of luck to you. Have a good day.
For all those Republicans who said that Gavin Newsom should resign after the California wildfires and said that he wasn't doing enough, despite the fact that he got the federal government to pay for every single dime of damage, where are those people now that Trump is denying FEMA funding to Arkansas? The Republican governor of Arkansas is begging Trump to reconsider denial of disaster relief after 3 storms hit Arkansas last month, leading to 3 deaths. And not a peep from those MAGA people. Not a peep from the people screaming about Gavin Newsom. Are you joking me? Did they just truly not get this information, or are they embarrassed? Because this is so embarrassing. They are so pathetic.
Hey, it's Joe from Georgia. Karma comes around real quick in a lot of situations. And karma that we're seeing this past weekend is out of the state of Arkansas, where the governor, remember her, she used to be Trump's press secretary. Governor Sanders, Huckabee Sanders of Arkansas, is appealing the denial of FEMA funds for a declaration of emergency in Arkansas. Well, Arkansas has suffered a lot of flooding and high winds, and it has definitely caused a lot of damage. Well, the governor had asked for FEMA funds. Well, they were denied. So she's out there now trying to plead to the government to give her state those FEMA funds. Once again, this is a red state who voted for Donald Trump overwhelmingly, with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, his former press secretary, that he didn't even approve it for her because guess what? There's no money left in it. Is that it comes around. What goes around comes around. So you didn't want other people to have FEMA. Well, now you, in the state of Arkansas, Governor Sanders, you don't get FEMA money either. That's how it works.
You drain the swamp, but the swamp is where you get your water. You can't then question why you're thirsty when there's no water left. It's blunt, but it's true. The Trump administration just denied federal relief funding to Arkansas. For context, last month, Arkansas had 14 or so major storms, tornadoes, that devastated numerous communities. 40 people died. Hundreds or thousands have lost effectively everything, and they desperately need help in the form of federal resources and funding that they are not going to get. You see, the problem is you have people like Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders and members of the Republican legislature in Arkansas. They actively campaigned in 2024 to drain the swamp, to cut wasteful federal spending. Which one is it? Is it that FEMA was part of that plan, regardless of the repercussions, or that Trump went beyond what you thought he would do and you did nothing to stop that? Because where was Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders campaigning against FEMA getting slashed, when in all reality, a state like Arkansas leans very heavily on federal resources during events like this? See, Arkansas is a net recipient of federal funding, meaning they're not putting money into the pool, they're taking money from the pool, and that money comes from states like Florida, Texas, California, and New York, who have big enough economies that they can contribute to federal funds that would have been allocated to a state like Arkansas through FEMA. Help would have been on the way, but now you're being told no, because your legislature voted against your best interest, or at the least did nothing to stop it. This isn't meant to be a gotcha haha moment. This is a self-inflicted wound. And now real people are hurting because they can't get help. So at what point is there accountability for Arkansas's policymakers, for your governor? When you don't have the means to rebuild these communities after so much loss, at what point does the term Republican become irrelevant and the policy that actually impacts you becomes paramount to someone's political identity? See, at the end of the day, putting responsibility back on the states, however true or not that may have been, that was the message. And now Arkansas is finding out what that actually means. And unfortunately for regular people who have lost so much, it means that you're not going to get help because you don't live in a state like Texas that has the funds to run these programs themselves. Where's the accountability?
I just believe that FEMA, because normally FEMA is supposed to step in no matter who you voted for, no matter where you live, or no matter what policies or politics that you believe in, right? But this time, because Trump's policies, his administration, the goal is to cut federal spending, right? And now, one of the aims of cutting federal spending, according to them, is not to be giving money just anyhow to anybody that needs it and all of that. But this is a matter of life and death, right? These are people that have lost their means of livelihood, right? everything that makes them feel as if they are complete and whole as a human being, all their material possessions are practically gone. Okay, and I believe that this matters because disasters don't care about politics. When American citizens need help, I believe they should get it, and that's on period, because I don't really get what's going on. And those people, to think that they actually supported him full with their full chest, okay, they supported him. It's a red state, Arkansas, and they voted for him with their full chest, and now they are finding out. Okay, even if anybody needs help and is going to be begging and pleading for help, it shouldn't be Arkansas, right? Because they are in full support of Trump. But now they were denied help. Guys, what do you think about this in the comment section? Because it's just a situation of we backed you up and now you're throwing us under the bus. Let me know what you think.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders is big mad right now because her and the state of Arkansas are getting exactly what they voted for. Because you see, last month, 14 tornadoes touched down in the state of Arkansas, devastating multiple counties, destroying businesses, and sadly taking the lives of 3 people and injuring dozens of others. But you see, the state of Arkansas also voted for an administration that wanted to leave disaster relief up to the states. So I'm not even sure why you guys applied for relief funds, but you did and you were denied. All right. They said it was nothing outside the realm which your state and local agencies could handle. So I don't know what they're seeing that you're not, but it might be time for you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get to work. Your state depends on you. You're the one who led the way, telling them that this administration was going to be great for your state and your country. I don't know. I voted for federal relief fund, okay, because I don't want your state to suffer. But hey, you voted for hate, and those 15 people can't play field hockey now, so I guess it was worth it in the long run. Good luck.
FAFO, Arkansas Republican Governor Sarah Huckabee has been rebuffed by Donald Trump asking for FEMA disaster aid. As you well know, a few days ago, an outbreak of tornadoes in Arkansas, Mississippi, and Missouri left more than 40 people dead. Donald Trump and new Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem, you know, the one that posed with prisoners in El Salvador wearing a $50,000 watch, turned their request down. In Arkansas and Mississippi, one of the poorest states in the union, are going to have to find some kind of way to come up with the cash to help their citizens rebuild from this tragedy. Now, we are just on the cusp of tornado and hurricane season. Let's see how Floridians fare, who also voted in great numbers for Trump, when those tornadoes and hurricanes start to hit their state. We tried to tell them, folks. I tried to tell them. And now they see that Donald Trump only cares about one thing, himself, and what his bank account looks like. So for the short term, that's a no, Arkansas. And, you know, what's really surprising is Sarah Huckabee was his communications director in his first term. I thought they were really chummy. So if he doesn't give a crap about her, what do you think he cares about you?
Guys,
Exactly.
what do you think in the comment section? Because a lot of people are not even backing them up. A lot of people are saying, you guys effed around, now you're finding out. And now, because this policy has directly affected you, you are having the consequences of what you voted for. And some people are leaning onto the side that, okay, those people are still human beings, okay? Even though they are MAGA, they are Republican, they voted for Trump, but we don't wish ill on anybody, right? So we want them to get what they deserve, because I mean, disasters don't care about politics. The American citizens, and they need help, so they should get it. And some people are like, should FEMA decisions be influenced by politics? I really don't know, guys, because this is a really dicey one. But I just feel that when people need help, especially when it comes to a situation where it's life and death, people should receive it, because I mean, the universal umbrella, they are all still under the federal universal umbrella, even though it's a state that also has its own administration, but they are still all under the Trump administration. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I really want to hear from you. If you have found value in this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Ciao.